Guys Pizza and Brew. We got the Tug Valley Panthers State Tournament tip-off show. Kevin Keathley, Kevin Jones, and Darryl McCoy. Coach, once again, we find ourselves here, and you know, it's almost like peanut butter and jelly. You know, Tug goes state, and you know, we're right here with it, having their back.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It almost feels like we're a part of the team. So, Darryl McCoy, my question is, why haven't we received a championship ring yet? Right? Because we've been here, 3 years running now. Every year they've cut the nets down. So, Darryl McCoy, I'm looking for my championship ring.
Well, you do got your silver and black on.
That's exactly right. I'm locked in.
Yeah. Again, 3 Guys Pizza and Brew, always a proud partner here, as well as United Motorsports and City Auto Care, located right here in Williamson, West Virginia. Coach, as we sit here, you know, again, this is the 3rd year in a row that Tug's made it here under Rabbit Thompson. You know, he's got 4 state titles, and he's going for his 5th as the head coach of the Panthers. I mean, Tug Valley has a dynasty. You know, when you talk, you know, dynasties here in the mountains, is there anybody else? I mean, maybe Johnson Central, you know, with Tommy McKenzie and all the region titles he's won, but, you know, is there any other, you know, Chapmanville under Brad Napper, you know, but is there any other programs that's had this kind of sustained success over a, you know, short period of time?
Well, exactly. You talk about sustained success not only in region, but in state. No, it pales in comparison to what Tug Valley's done. They're here. A lot of people's a step below, like you said, Chapmanville.
Yeah.
Also, like you said, maybe Ashland over the years getting to state, but Ashland hasn't cut the nets down like Tug Valley has in Rabbit Thompson.
Yeah, I think what Rabbit's done at Tug Valley is second to none. I think, you know, when you go and look, you know, 3 years. And really, he's dominated Class A since they won that first one. That first one, now, they went in not as the favorite. You know, they went in, I think he's won, going in, since seeding started, they've won 2 as a 2 seed and 2 as a 1 seed. This year, they ended up with the 2 seed because they dropped that late game to Huntington St. Joe. But what that did, that put them in a tough spot. They're going to have to play St. Joe again, maybe a little earlier than what they anticipated, if they can take care of a good Greater Beckley team in round 1. Now, the Greater Beckley team, if you remember, at the beginning of the year, they beat Chapmanville.
Yeah, that knocked Chapmanville off.
Chapmanville was short-handed,
right.
But.
Well, Mr. Keaton Terry.
Not
available. That's
Keaton
a big.
Terry. I can't remember if they even had Dalton and the football players back then.
Right, but championship tournaments in Tug Valley go hand in hand. 19 state tournament appearances over the years. Man, oh man, you're talking about a tradition second to none. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. You might have seniors that graduate and move on, but you better believe you have underclassmen that step up, and a transfer or two that always comes up big in Tug Valley.
Well, they definitely got them this year, you know, and Aiden Copelan and Zade Rash, 2 big pieces. But like Tyler Hodge always says, there's nothing like Noggy Tuck. Right. You know, he's like, they're born and bred there. You know, players that start at Tug Valley's feeder systems, or players that grow up there, they don't go anywhere, and they don't get a lot of transfers in either.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, all this is stuff that, you know, that they've built over the years, you know, and they built that feeder and that pipeline coming up to where, you know, you just have that success year after year after year.
And why would you want to go anywhere else? Again, you've got a Hall of Fame coach, you've got a coaching staff that's been locked in with him at the Hill, and you've got a community second to none.
Best fan base in the mountains.
Best fan base in the mountains. You go to a game, Darryl McCoy, and it is. We covered that Belfry Tug Valley game, and Darryl McCoy, it was like it was a state championship environment with the fan base. So unreal.
It's like that night after night after night. The coach. So we do want to remind everybody, we will be throughout the evening, we will be passing on some of your fan questions. If y'all got a question you would like for us to pass, send it over to us down in the Jim Mar Service comment section, and we'll also read some of your comments. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into it, Coach, and you know, we'll start with the players.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Come on down to 3 Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. Get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
Hi, Smokey Armstrong, United Motorsports in Belfry. Kick into high gear with great deals on new Honda motorcycles and ATVs. Power through any terrain with savings up to $7,000 on selected Polaris side-by-sides and ATVs. Built for work, built for play, and ready to ride. Get the job done with Kawasaki. New and pre-owned inventory from parts to service and the financing to get you approved. It's all right here. United Motorsports, Belfry.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 and reach us Monday through Friday.
Come on down to Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia, and let us fill all your shopping needs. It's the holiday season. Don't be left without a gift to give. We got 90-day layaway, delivery. We got the best prices around. We will beat anybody's prices. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. 7 days a week, we're open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 7, Sunday, 11 to 6. Also, come find a treasure in our pallet bins. We got great deals. You never know what you'll find in our bins. That's Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia. We look forward to seeing you. Back here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Got Kevin Keathley to my right. I'm Darryl McCoy. Kevin Jones on the production here. And we got Chef Braden Ferris in the house with us, Coach. Young man, one of the biggest stars in southern West Virginia. I know you know all about him, Coach.
I know all about him, and I know all about, listen, this haircut going on, the Tug Valley symbols, it's unifying, right? And most of the entire team has that locked in. Championship teams tend to do that. We saw Johnson Central with the white headbands. We'll have to get the real lowdown on that one, but we'll have to get the story on this and what prompted the Tug Valley logo in that.
You wore them last year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and our sophomore year.
Yeah, your sophomore year too?
Yep.
So why break traditions, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Braden, obviously you coming in, I mean, you got a special senior class with Bryson, Carson, and these boys, these youngsters. You've come up. You've been the leader on and off the floor for this group. Coming into this year here, you got a chance to do something that nobody else has done, and that's ring 3 in a row off. They've been groups that's won 2 in a row, but never one that done 3 in a row. Does that got you excited for being able to seal your legacy with that 3rd state title?
Well, I'm really excited, really, and it's very nerve-wracking because, I mean, like you said, nobody's ever done it. There've been like 5 people to do it in the whole entire state, and I mean, we just really got to lock in and take it one game at a time.
And, this season, it's been one of them seasons. Y'all coming in, y'all had a lot of pressure. Everybody said this year, they lose Buddy. They don't have that big. No way they can get back to where they're at. Then halfway through the season, I think everybody started dialing in and being like, oh, well, this team's so good defensively, it makes up for not having that big. Just talk about the roller coaster from the beginning of the season to now. Where did you think that you improved the most, and is it something that y'all seen early on, something you had to work on to get to this place?
Well, I think all of our roles has really changed a lot. I mean, last year we had Ashton, Nathan, they could rebound really good. Then you had Bryson, he could rebound really good. So, I mean, me and Carson and Caden really didn't have the rebound as good as we do now. But I feel like all 5 of us are guards, so we all really got pressed for boards. And, I mean, losing them 3 was a big loss. But, I mean, I think we're fine now. We've worked mostly on defense. I mean, as 5 guards, you really got to be great defensively and get out and run.
Well, listen, you talk about rebounding. You talk about having maybe to maybe wear more hats than what you did last year. Well, I saw you early in the year. You, Carson, Braxton, Keathley were in the gym working out together, and the one thing that I noticed when I left there is I said, that young man's gotten stronger. What did you do during the offseason to prepare for your senior year? Was that just hitting that weight room even more? But it was evident that you have got, not only it was just physically, but you could see when you were bumping and doing some different things, you were definitely a much tougher competitor than what I've seen in the past. Talk a little bit about that offseason.
Well, I mean, in the off season, I lift pretty hard, and I want to go play the next level. So I mean, I have to bulk up a little bit and get my body right for the next level, and it's very hard to do, really, for my size. And I mean, just working out a lot and being in the gym a lot, I feel like that helps me out a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and speaking of working, you've been here for a long time. You started out, you're that underclassman learning from the older guys. What has this year been like for you as that senior, leading this group and being that guy where it's on your shoulders to make sure things in the locker room or on the court, off the court, are exactly the way they need to be, and setting the tone for Coach Rabbit Thompson?
Well, I feel like as being like a senior and a leader, I feel like you gotta teach them like to stay locked in on when you need to be locked in and when you don't. I mean, then another thing is being humble and always keeping your head up and being confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in to this year fresh off that state tournament run last year, and I still say one of the most dominant runs I've seen by a guard. Last year, I don't think there was a better guard in that class, or point guard in any class up there besides you. Just talk about, did that run give you the confidence you needed to come into this season saying, okay, I'm one of the best guards in the state, and I'm going to get us back here?
Well, I mean, it really all started with my team. They just kept feeding me the ball, and when I'd leak out, they'd find me, and I felt like that built my confidence in Charleston a lot, and I feel like that's going to carry over to this year because, I mean, we all have a lot of experience. We played Darryl 4 years.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of it at Charleston is just having confidence when you shoot the ball.
Yeah, obviously, you're playing for a legend in Rabbit Thompson. Talk real quick about what Coach Thompson's meant to you in your career.
He's taught me like a lot, not just about basketball, but about life. And I mean, I feel like if we didn't have him and the coaching staff we did, I don't think we'd be as good as we was. They push us and keep us locked in all through the season.
Yeah. Now, a few weeks ago, you dropped a game to Huntington St. Joe. I know y'all want redemption back for that game. I know that's kind of a chip you got on your shoulder right now, but you're heading in as the 2 seed, and y'all won it as the 2 seed before, but you're having to face a Greater Beckley team that knocked off a Chapmanville earlier in the year. Is that part of the process, having to make sure you guys don't look over that first game into that second round?
Well, like you said, I mean, we're going to take it one game at a time because Ritchie County, they're pretty good. They have a 6'7" guard, and we're just going to try to take it one game at a time. But I'd love to play St. Joe again.
Is Ritchie who y'all's played first round? Oh, I thought it was Greater Beckley. So
no, Greater Beckley's 1 seed.
Yeah, so they're on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, losing that game to St. Joe, do you think that will help you if it does come to a round 2 matchup between y'all? Do you think it'll help?
I think it really. I think it really made us realize that we ain't that good, that we can be beat, and I think that helped us. Because I feel like ever since then we've been peaking every game. We've been getting better at something else every single game. And I think that really helped us out. That will help us out in the long run.
Yeah.
Well, listen, as you guys prepare for that championship run, we were in the gym last year, and Coach Thompson kind of walked you through a little preview of how things were. Well, was it last year or the year before? Year before. And things played out exactly like, it's unreal how it played out exactly how it played out, almost to a T how we said it was going to, as you guys closed your eyes and you envisioned cutting down some nets. Is Coach Rabbit Thompson, are you guys doing the same things routine-wise to get yourself ready for this championship run coming up?
Yeah, I mean, he towards the end of the season when it becomes tournament time, he always cuts practice down 30 minutes so we can get more rest. It's probably a good thing looking at it, but that is probably one of my favorite things going to the state championship is him making us imagine what it's going to be like, and I think he does very good preparing us for the state championship.
He does indeed, Darryl McCoy.
Yeah, got a couple more quick questions, and then we'll let you go grub. When you sit here looking, a few years ago in middle school, when you transferred over to Martin County, everybody looked at you and they was like, he's too small. He's a good guard, but, he'll never amount to, playing at the next level. It's got to make you look back and smile, all your hard work and how, all of a sudden you're not that small guard. Everybody's seeing you as, one of the best point guards in all the Cofields. Just talk, was it hard at the beginning when people would doubt you because of your size? Was it hard to keep focused and being like, listen, I can do this?
Well, it's been my whole life. I've always said my whole life I'm too small to go play at the next level. But, if you really look at it, I was in the gym with Carla Booth a lot. And I would practice with Brady Dingus. And, Brady Dingus, in my opinion, was one of the best to ever come out of here. Then even now I still hear things that I'm too small to go play college ball, but I just got to keep grinding myself.
Yeah, they ain't no too small. Listen, pound for pound, you're as good as anybody out there. You talk elite point guards. You're mentioning you in that, top three with Elijah Neal and, some of the other ones. But whenever you sit and look, my last question, Bryson Eli coming back after the injury, three amigos, you, Carson, Bryson, how sweet would it be to cut down the nets for your third straight state title with them two beside you?
Well, the last time we interviewed, he lived beside me my whole life, and we've been best friends ever since we was young. And when we got to about the second grade, me, Carson, and Bryson played on the same AAU team. So, it's been a really special run with them, and I'd like to cut the nets down one last time. Yeah,
at least I know Rabbit's all good and stuff, but I got to think I'm probably your best coach that you've ever played under, right?
Yeah, probably.
There you go, Coach. You heard it. Yeah, so you heard it from the chef himself. But Coach, Braden Nim's going to be in Charleston. You're going to have the fan base there. This Tug fan base, one day when you look back at it, what's going to be your thought process on the Naugatuck Nightmares?
Even if I do go to the next level, I think there'll never be anything that tops Tug Valley. It's just like it's so tight there. Everybody has such a special bond, even in the fans. Everybody's so tight. Everybody knows each other, and I feel like that carries us a lot in Charleston.
Just like Tyler Hodge says, nothing like Naugatuck, right?
Like Naugatuck.
There you go. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have Carson Newsome on the show with us. Come right back and join us. Folks, if you're in the market for a storage building, garage, barn, or custom structure, there's only one name you need to know. Mountaineer Buildings, conveniently located right outside Chapmanville, West Virginia, with multiple locations across Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. They are the largest building company in the Cofields for a reason. They've got a huge inventory on lot, unbeatable deals, and waiting for you. Come see us at Mountaineer Buildings. If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza.
It's going down. Meet me in the it's going down.
Guys, it's going down at 23 Camper Sales. Don't delay your dreams any longer. Come to 23 Camper Sales, where your dream camper is waiting.
Back here in Williamson, West Virginia at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Kevin Keathley to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy. Kevin Jones on the production, and we're here with Carson Newsome. Carson, once again, you find yourself sitting in this chair. I know you said it feels like it was yesterday. You was doing this last year. Yep. This year here, have you found yourself trying to soak it in a little bit more?
I have.
The one thing that I've always wanted to ask you, obviously, last year, you suffered the hand injury, and was it last year or the year before?
It was last year.
Yeah, last year, and you had to do some stuff a little different ways, and but what I did notice is you picked yourself up on the defensive side, and you played even harder on the defensive side since that injury. Was that hard to come back from that hand injury?
It was. I mostly focused on defense going into the games. I didn't really focus on much on my offense, so I really just put my effort mostly into defense.
Yeah, and I still think, before you was always known as a 3-and-D guy, and I still think it's having some lingering effects, because you was an elite shooter. Is that something as a player? Can you tell that you're still trying to find your shot back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I was telling Braden, I had a chance to watch you, him, and Braxton in the gym one day, and I left the gym, and I said, Carson Newsome is a next-level player. I said, this kid is ultra-skilled. He can get down and guard. He can get to the rim when he wants to. Great passer, can knock down shots. I mean, I was just blown away by that hour and a half work that you put in. And I felt like you had evolved as a basketball player from last year, and you were really good last year, year prior. What did you do during the offseason to take that next step, or did you do anything as it's just experience or in just being a year older? I mean, I was really impressed leaving that workout. Honestly,
just staying in the weight room, and I had help from Mikey and Austin. They really improved my game tremendously. I mean, they really took my game to the next level. And just staying in the weight room, trying to get bigger, practicing by myself, always staying in the gym and being consistent.
Yeah, well, listen, it paid off, and I feel like you can play multiple positions for Tug Valley. Was Rabbit Thompson, are you running, and even in a smaller lineup, you can go 1, 2, 3 at times, if whatever they need. Put Braden off the ball, you can go over to the one. And I've not seen Tug Valley a ton. I know Darryl has seen you guys more. Are you kind of playing that? Playing the 2, 3, 1, can you play?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, Darryl, in terms of being important to this basketball team, just unbelievable.
He is. Everybody knows, Braden's the star of this team, but when you talk about the one piece that you can't replace is Carson Newsome, because everything he does on both ends, and the thing that a lot of people take for granted, he's one of the best transition players there is, whether it's getting you out in transition or finishing in transition. It seems like that's a part of your game that you've stepped up to since that injury.
Yeah.
Looking, at this group, we talked about it with Braden, Bryson, Jace, you, Braden, Bryson's kind of been the three amigos, just talk about being able to do this with them guys and, have a chance to make history. So much history at Tug Valley, but nobody's ever done 3 in a row. I think there've only been 5 teams in the history of West Virginia that ever ring off 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It is a little sweeter to be able to do with the guys you grew up with.
It is. It's a blessing playing with these guys. I've not just high school. I've played with these guys through my whole career, starting from Little League and up. I mean, great players, great people in general.
Yeah, and a lot of people, Coach don't know about that Kermit-Lenore rivalry.
They don't.
Whenever you first get there your freshman year, does it take a couple months to say, okay, Braden's my teammate now, not me?
Yeah, it does.
It hits a little special, Coach, that rivalry in Mingo County. But I'll ask you the same thing I ask about Braden. Rabbit Thompson, what has he meant to your career?
He's meant a lot. I mean, probably the greatest coach ever come out of West Virginia. I mean, he's done so much for this team, and great coach, honestly.
Now, your cousin, Mikey, is that your cousin?
Yep.
Yeah, Coach, he ran off 2 state titles, considered one of the best to ever do it. You got to think 3 of them have put you at the head seat at the dinner table, right?
That's what I said to. He texted me today and said, I got 3 rings, one from college, and he said, just in case, beware of your interview, just so you say that. He showed me 3 rings when he got it at in college.
Well, we can't count that one. Yeah,
That's
we can't count that one.
I said they ain't all from Tug Valley.
There it is.
He said college.
Yeah, there's only 2 it counts. Yeah. Coach, one thing I talked to Carson the other night, and one thing that struck me, and I think a lot of, colleges, that's a thing that a lot of them need to know is, you want to play college ball, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Coach, you talked about everything that he brings. I mean, I think he could easily transition over to a kid that, you take and look at some of the guards compared to that's been picked up here lately. I mean, he's far and above.
Darryl, you can go in a gym after you've done it so long. I've coached on the college and pro level for 20 years, and I walked in that gym for 90 minutes and watched him walk out. And I promise you, I'm not exaggerating when I told you I got in the car with Braxton. And I said, Carson Newsome is a college basketball player. And I told you that.
Yeah, you said it on air, yeah.
He is a college basketball player, folks. He does a lot of different things great. He can get down and guard. He can play multiple positions. He's a leader. He's a proven winner. That guy can play. This guy can play.
And he's a team player.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. This fan base, Naugatuck Nightmares, what will be your final memory of this fan base?
Just them always showing up every single game. It don't matter where we're at. Could be 2 hours away. They're still always there, supporting us, cheering us on.
Now, you go and look, a couple weeks ago, y'all lost to Huntington St. Joe.
Yep.
That loss, I know it stung a little bit, but, do you think that will help fuel you, knowing like, okay, listen, we're not immortal, teams can beat us?
Yeah. Absolutely, it will. We played a game before that, so it was kind of tired that very next day, but, still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Coach, whether you know it or not, Carson is one of the most beloved Tug Valley players that we've covered in the D&D era. And, Carson, I hope you go down to Charleston, and I hope you have a performance that, everybody will remember, and I know you're capable of it. This time here, chance 3 in a row. It takes 3 in a row to say you're a dynasty. Y'all have a chance to, create history right here in Naugatuck, and we hope you're able to do it. And we'll be down in Charleston with you, trying to catch you for a couple interviews during the way. But you go out and do your thing, and show everybody, why Carson Newsome is one of the best guards in the Cofield.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we'll be right back here live from 3 Guys.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today.
5 times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years. If you need heating, cooling, electrical work, a fantastic generator, residential or commercial, done right at a fair price by honest experts, remember the name, Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Visit PreciseHeatingCooling.com for an appointment. Precision, the best of the best, again.
Come see us at Trailhead Bar and Grill in Maitland, West Virginia, where the locals come to hang out and the trail riders come to visit.
Follow us on Facebook page for our daily specials. We're open 7 days a week here at Trailhead Bar and Grill.
You can give them a call at 681-308-6088. Make sure you follow them on their Facebook page to keep up with all their daily specials and for business and operation hours. Trailhead Bar and Grill, located downtown Maitland, West Virginia.
And we're back here in Williamson, West Virginia. Kevin Keathley. Coach, that's why Naugatuck's special.
Absolutely.
That's what makes it so special. Kevin Keathley, Darryl, McCoy, and we're here with the shot. Bryson Eli. Bryson, you got this whole thing started. If it wasn't for you, this dynasty don't get rolling. Just talk about, that first year and go back to that situation. What was going through your head, whenever you come down and you turn it over? Take us from that point on.
Man, it was really a lot of devastation just because you got the whole, town of Naugatuck and everything just waiting to see us win it. And just kind of felt like the world was coming down on my shoulders for a minute there. But, I was blessed to get the ball back. And just good things happen in tight moments in the games. And, good players make things happen whenever it's meant to happen. So, that just kind of worked its way out.
Well, the thing is, Coach, God gave this young man gifts that he gave nobody else. So, not many people could have made that play, and
not many could have made it. And we were there a couple of nights or days prior, or the day of. I don't remember there. Yeah. But Coach Rabbit Thompson, he was Nostradamus in that. He basically said it's going to come down to a winning shot. Yeah, and this young man knocked it down, folks.
Did that moment when Rabbit went through that with y'all and kind of envisioned that, did that help you feel like you had been there before?
Yeah, a little bit. He just always tries to set us up for every situation that could ever possibly happen. We go through that from the start of the year. We do situations in practice. Sometimes we'll start the practice and he'll put us a certain amount of time on the clock. We might be down by 5. We might be down by 10. We might be up. We got to win the game. We go through these situations, and it's not just for practice. It's for situations that we end up in, just like how that was. And we've been there in practice, so it was something new just to do on that Civic Center floor. But we was able to make it happen just because we were comfortable with doing stuff like that.
Yeah, Coach, you're talking about a beloved player. I don't know. He's bought dinner in Naugatuck in 2 years. Just kind of talk about the fanfare and what that moment done and how it set you up for the next 3 years of your high school career.
The town of Naugatuck, they just already have our backs no matter what, and it's just a blessing to have a family like that. Even though, some of them might not be blood, it is family. Just that's the way we are around here. And that right there was just something that kind of helped add on to what was already built here. And not just for me, but for the rest of these boys. Because, I made that play, but we all won the state championship. You know what I'm saying? So it helped to, add to that just for us all and set us up for the next years because we seen what we could be possible and capable of. And, it's just something that we dreamed of doing as a kid. And we made dreams reality in that situation, so it was just good to look forward to for the next rest of our high school career.
Yeah.
Listen, you're battling back. Folks didn't think, Darryl McCoy, is this young man going to be able to make a return? Yeah. And what I admired the most, and again, I've watched you guys, I think probably 5-6 times this year, a couple times in person. You can tell that man-on-man, especially in that Belfry game, Darryl McCoy, I was hurting for him.
Yeah.
You could tell you were struggling physically, but mentally you were locked in with your team. Spiritually, you were locked in with your team, and you didn't want to leave that floor. But sometimes that body, things that you could have normally done, you wouldn't allowing you to do what you have normally done over the years. Talk about that perseverance and just that will to want to win and be out on the floor with your teammates and brothers. I'm so impressed by that.
I tweaked it that game, and I came out for just a split second. I tried to stretch as much as I could, and just, I wanted to put myself in a situation to say that if that were to ever happen again, what can I do and what can I not do? Like, say if it's a state championship game. And I think I like to put myself through testaments like that just to see what I'm capable of, and just to see, what I'm able to do in tight situations and when I'm absolutely needed. And I think that's what I was able to do, because even though I wasn't able to produce a whole lot, I still got back out there and was able to provide what I could. So I think that's what's really important about it, and it helped me as a player just to have the confidence and keep it just for the rest of the season.
I think, Darryl, more than anything, just his commitment to the team and will to be out there, that gives Tug Valley a 5 to 10 point edge. Sometimes they say, you step off a bus and you're down 20 at certain places, maybe Tug Valley as well, right? But with this young man stepping out on the floor, it gives them a little something extra to fight for and play for when they know, hey, if this guy's going to step on the floor and physically he's not 100%, we're going to give it everything we got because he's fighting for us.
Yeah, but I mean, just talk playing through that injury. Obviously it happened during football season, and whenever you was having, it was first game of the year, right? Or second game against Tulsa. It was early in the season, right?
I pulled my hamstring early, then came back, and then it was senior night. It was like game 7. I'd played a couple games, and then that happened. I pulled.
Yeah, it was one of them. I mean, it was just a freak, play, but right now, where are you at with that injury? Are you having to have surgery after the season, or was that something that you was faced with, whether you had to choose to have surgery or play the season?
I kind of had to just suck it up and say that I wasn't going to be able to finish the football season. I mean, that's just something you have to do, even though it's hard. But I mean, realistically, I just kind of let the cards play out for itself, and for the first little bit I was having a lot of trouble just working my mobility back, and I got into some physical therapy, and after a few weeks, it was like just a crazy change. I'm not really sure. I wasn't having a lot of pain. My mobility was back. I mean, obviously there's some instability because you can't make that up what's wrong in there, but then I decided, it was kind of a thought in my head, just if I do get surgery, I'm not going to have time to come back, so why not give it a shot? And I'm just trying to trust the Lord through it all and let it work out, like I said. But it's been a blessing to be able to do what I've been able to do. Just even if I can't be as 100% as I was before, I still love to get out there with my brothers and just people that I've created bonds with this year and years prior. But, I love the game, so I figured why not give it one last go.
Yeah, that's, Coach, and I told him, and, it's been a long time since I've had a kid's injury hit that hard, knowing what a special career he's had. And, it had to be a special day whenever the doctor said, okay, I'm going to release you, but, you go out there and push. And I know the coaches wanted that because, it's not necessarily anymore your athleticism that's changing the team on the floor. It's your experience, and, having a young group like this under you seniors, just talk about, your role as a leader on this team.
Seniority always helps for teams and dynasties that you're building for years to come. And I think we got a strong base between me and Braden, Carson, and Jason, even the juniors with Cam and Zade and all those guys. I mean, I think we're all very experienced, and, we've been to Charleston. We've done this thing before, so I think we know that the guys under us have something to look up to, and they got a path paved out for them that a lot of guys don't get to see or get to do or experience. And I really think that being a leader, throughout every year of high school basketball that I've been a part of, I think that's probably the most important thing to me, just leaving my mark for the town and for the rest of the players and just the community as a whole, and I take pride in doing that. So.
Yeah, Coach, I know you don't know as much, but he comes from a special family when it comes to athletics, and the bloodline's thick. Going in for your third state title, I know there's got to be a little bit of pressure, right, from your family.
A little bit, but they trust me. They want me to succeed in everything that I do. So, I mean, even with the injury that I'm dealing with and stuff, they're still pushing me, just making sure that I'm able to, succeed and just not letting me get down on myself, just keeping me up at all times. But I think it's more just them rooting for me at this point because they know it's my last shot at it. And for the rest of these boys that I've grew up with, and I think that's more what it is now.
But you go back to the 2 years ago at Charleston, y'all was that hungry, that up-and-coming team. Wasn't necessarily the favorite that year. It's kind of a shocker, that year. And then, last year, of course, total dominance, and then, this year you come in, now you got another team that was almost just like y'all in Huntington St. Joe. They beat y'all a couple of weeks ago. A team like that, did that loss help y'all a couple of weeks ago come in and stay focused for this tournament run?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the truth of it is that they hadn't beat us in, a couple of seasons, and that gave us a taste of what it feel like to see them in Charleston and something like that happen again, and that's nothing that we want to experience. So I think that we're really focused, and I think we know what we have to do to get past that, and I think that we're really locked in and we're confident in ourselves. Yeah. We're playing really good together. Our bond is probably stronger than ever, and, we're just trusting each other, and I think that's a big part of it.
Now, Coach, when you went down, obviously that makes the transfer of Zade Rash even bigger to help carry y'all, especially through them first few months. But, just talk about him and Copeland and what they've meant to this team.
Well, we welcomed them with open arms, and I'm extremely blessed to get the bond that we've grew with these boys. Like, I treat Zade like my brother. I treat Copeland like my brother, just like any of these other fellas that I've been around my whole life. And we laugh together. We have fun times outside of the games and outside of practice. And honestly, I'm just blessed to be able to get to experience friendships like that. And just to, as a part of the team, both of them can shoot the lights out of it. They get hot, it's hard to beat us. And anytime anybody's slacking, they're always there to pick up the slack. And they always give us confidence, just on and off the court, as a player, as a person, and I'm really just blessed to be a part of this.
Yeah, if you could speak to the Tug Valley fan base, obviously, the last couple of years, Tug Valley, you ain't got to tell them to come to Charleston and support you, but what would it mean to you going for 3 in a row, a chance to seal history with that third straight state title? What would it mean for Mingo County in general, whether you're a Mingo Central fan, a Tug fan, for them all to come out and support y'all down there in Charleston?
Man, just Mingo County specifically, we have our rivalries in football and basketball, but, outside of those games, we're all for each other, rooting for each other. And I think just the whole county and everybody, we just know that what's at stakes here. And, I just really think that everybody is cheering for us, going to root for us. I think they know what kind of history we can make. And it's been done 5 times in West Virginia history, not just Mingo County. And it's never been done in Mingo County. Yeah. So I really think that we're not going to have to be too much of a part of it. I really think they know what's going to happen and what we have a shot at. So, I'm excited for it. I'm ready to see Panther Nation back at it in Charleston and see how they hold it down for us.
Coach, any last question?
Well, listen, just a final question on my end. What, if you can narrow it down, championship runs, what's the one thing it's going to take to cut the nets down? What's the one thing from a basketball team? You've won 2. What's it take to cut the nets down as a basketball team? If you can sum it up into one paragraph or one word.
32 minutes of Tug Valley basketball, and that consists of defense. So a lot of defense, just being patient, taking the right shots, knowing time, score, momentum, just playing smart and playing how we play. And that's just something that we like to do, and we're taught from day one coming into this thing, and I think we're really focused, and that's what we got to do.
All right, guys, that's going to take us down with Bryson Eli. When we come back, we got Zade Rash when we come back. Be right back. With tax season coming up, make the smart decision with your money. Stop at Tommy's Auto Sales in Inez, Kentucky. Right now, you can get cars, trucks, and SUVs at the best prices around. Tommy's Auto Sale is a proud supporter of the Martin County Cardinals and all Mountain athletes.
When it comes to burying a loved one, you need to make sure that they're left in the right hands. That's why you need to call Crum Funeral Home, located in Inez, Kentucky. You can give them a call today at 606-298-0602, located on 498 Kentucky Route 3 North in Inez, Kentucky. Give them a call today, Crum Funeral Home.
And we are back here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. You're watching the Tug Valley Panthers State Tournament tip-off show here on the D&D Sports Network. We're here with Zade Rash. Coach, I know this is a young man that you know, you probably know him better than you know the rest of them.
I probably know him really well. I've watched this young man since he's been in 5th grade, and Belfry and that Mullins Tigers team had a bit of a rivalry for some years. I mean, you're talking about they're hanging from the rafters in there, Darryl McCoy. And, the fan bases were at each other and players were at each other, but I've always said this, and you know this, and this ain't overstating it because he's in here. I promise you this kid is as good as any guard you'll see here in the mountains. The skill, instincts, always thinking of one play ahead. I've always been ultra impressed with this young man, and now brought what he brings to the table to Tug Valley, and it replaced what they've lost. They got a big-time shot to cut the nets down, and it's because of that Kentucky kid, that Belfry kid now that's now at Tug Valley.
Yeah, a huge addition, Zade, coming over. I mean, obviously they already had the mold. They had everything built here, but they was missing, that score. They needed that extra score to relieve some of that pressure, especially with Carson coming off with his end injury. Bryson was injured. Like you was exactly what the doctor ordered for his Tug Valley team. And it seems this year, like Coach said, and I'll tell everybody, pound for pound, one of the most skilled guards we got in the mountains. But the one thing that seemed like you struggled with throughout your career sometimes was confidence. It seems like Rabbit Thompson has really helped you out with that. Just talk about coming to Tug Valley and what makes you a different player now that you're in Naugatuck.
Like, I think a lot of it's like the kids too. Like, I fit in well with all these kids, and they've welcomed me, and I've enjoyed the coaches too. Like, I've had multiple coaches in my career, and I haven't had a stable, like, each year it's been someone else. So going like this year, going into the next year with the same coach, I think it's going to help a lot. And like, I don't know, I just feel confident. And y'all can see at the core, I feel happy, and the fans and stuff is just so much better. I like being here.
But I was just going to say, it feels like at Belfry, a lot of times, and you performed at a high level for so many years there that, you were that guy. You were that guy, the 15th region. Always the X was on your back. It seemed like a lot of times, and it happens with great players, that pressure of every game coming out, and you got, whether you get a box and one or you get the best defender, you got it every single night. And it seems like now, now you're an upperclassman. Well, that's crazy, right? I started watching as a fifth grader. Now being an upperclassman as a junior, you've kind of let all that kind of roll off your back, and it's like you just go out and play basketball now.
I do. A lot of the pressure now. Well, last year I had Tyler Reddington on my team, so he takes the bulk of the game plan, and now you got Braden Ferris and Carson Newsome, so a lot of that pressure kind of came off of me, and now I kind of know how to handle it. But last few years I've kind of been more of a role guy, which I'm fine with. Like, I like my role, and I've told everybody that I do enjoy my role. Next year, obviously, I'm going to have to step back into that role, which I've handled it my whole life. I think I'll be fine with it. But a lot of that is confidence.
Yeah.
Like going from a 17-point game score my freshman year, putting up 30-point nights some nights, to going to 13 or 14, like, it changes a lot. But I think getting back in that role will build my confidence up, and I think doing that for my senior year you got to take a lot of pressure to yourself, and I think I'm ready for that.
I should say that I've talked a lot about him being at Belfry, because I always will identify him as at Belfry, but he did spend some time, folks, over at Phelps that latter part of last year before coming over to Tug Valley, which, again, he had some big-time games, and Phelps won some big-time games there, but I just want to mention that he was at Phelps before coming to Tug Valley.
Yeah, that was Zade's one of them players. A big reason why my son went to Belfry is because of the play with Zade, and he's Zade's just one of them players. Like, even though he's an elite scorer, like, he's got the mentality of a point guard, of an unselfish point guard, and being able to come in this year, although like I said, you're scoring. You don't have to score as much, but your role, you are a lot years better defender this year. That's where I've really seen an improvement, is how you've bought in on the defensive side, and you've come up with key stops in big games. Just talking about being at Tug Valley, did that allow you to work on some of the other parts of your game, knowing that you didn't have to have all that weight on you offensively?
Yeah, it did. It changed a lot, and it's actually for the better too. Like, when we first came here last year, I came here actually before school ended, and first thing Rabbit told me and my dad was, you gotta play defense. Like, I've always been average at defense. When I wanted to play defense, I could, but sometimes the offense gets carried away.
Yeah.
But he told us, he's like, if he ain't gonna play defense, he ain't gonna play. And so I came in here every day in summer and fall, and I proved that I can play defense. And I've had up and downs some games this year. not played good defense, but this last little stretch right here, I've thought I've worked hard, and they're going to need me to play good defense in state, and I'm going to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ritchie County has a 6'8" guy, down low. Y'all don't have that big, so, I mean, y'all's going to have to do what y'all have done all year, play great defense and really gang rebound as guards, talk about, I mean, obviously why we're here is this state tournament run. You coming in, a chance here for them to make history, three-peat, just talk about, what are you most excited about this week coming up at the state tournament?
Just being around your whole team and all the guys for the whole week. We're going to Monday morning, and it's just the experience. Like, I've played at the Expo Center and I played at Marshall this summer and stuff, but it's not the same. Like, you got your whole fan base there. You got a big spirit section. You got everybody rooting for you, and just I ain't never played in that, but I just feel like besides like the game, I think it's just gonna be fun. Like, I ain't used to it, but I'm ready for it.
Now, you talking about Zade, Coach? I mean, I know he's bought into Naugatuck and Tug Valley because when he first come up here, he's like, man, the girls should have got it, and we know he's got an invested interest on the girls team. Talk about this girls team, Haven Deskins and them. It's special. Give them a shout out. I know you definitely want to give them a shout out for the work they done.
They did good. They played a really good team. I think, the team that's picked to win it, they beat them at their place. So they was rolling, and they made a good comeback, but, stuff happens. But.
Yeah. Get them next year, right?
Yeah.
Zade, coming in now, you're the perfect kid to ask because we ask all these kids, and they love Bryson. They're used to Bryson.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know this team. When you first come, you was here, the first 6-7 months without Bryson. So you speak on your point of view. What does Bryson mean to this team, and what has he brought to this team?
He brought a lot. Like, I didn't get to play with him in summer because he was doing football stuff, or even in fall. We had 9 weeks of fall ball too. It's different than Kentucky, but he just brought we didn't think he was going to play for one.
Yeah.
We went the first 2 or 3 months of practice. He wasn't even showing up because he thought.
Yeah.
His confidence was hurting, and he just didn't think he was going to get to play. But when he started to come back, everybody got excited for that, and the fans got excited for that. We started seeing more people come to the games, and it just brought maturity. Of course, came back, and we got everybody on the court together. The offense changed.
Yeah.
I went to different spots on defense and offense, and I just think everybody's clicking now. Ever since he came back, and he's actually starting to play at a high level, we've just been looking good.
Yeah.
So.
So we see Danielle Stroud message. She said, "Tell Zade Bill's gonna call Larry Bird." Obviously, a lot of people don't know Zade's whole family Larry Bird fans, and that's probably a big reason why you wear a 33, right?
It is the reason. My dad wore it, and my oldest sister wore it. So I just feel like I had to wear it too.
Yeah, family tradition, right?
Yeah.
Zade, obviously, we're rooting really hard for you. I mean, you're one that we're extremely close to over the years. We've been the whole way. We've been there with you. A lot of people don't know, Coach. When Zade was a baby, my mom was his parent and his maid, and so I was around Zade when he was a pup.
Right.
But for you to be able to come over here and win a state title, when you look back, on this year, what's that state title going to mean to you and your career going into your senior season?
It's going to mean a lot because I've had a pretty rough stretch the last few years in high school. So just taking that weight off and actually accomplishing something for yourself instead of just people just knowing my name from middle school and stuff. I actually go and do something, prove I can play.
Yeah.
So that means a lot. And then I've always played Little League sports in West Virginia, and my dad played at Williamson too. So coming back to West Virginia and actually doing something here means a lot too. So.
Yeah, I guarantee it. If you know his family, they was Williamson through and through. So being able to do it in Mingo County, I'm sure hits a little harder for your parents.
It does.
But maybe not your mommy, but
she was dope.
But Zade, we're gonna let you go back and eat and party. But I want to thank you for joining us, and you got two big fans right here cheering you on. Go get that state title, and come in the next year as one of the elite guards in the Cofield.
We'll try.
All right, guys. We'll be right back, and we're going to have Cam Sloan when we return.
If you got a big job to get done, don't just trust any flagging service. Call Diamond Flagging Service. Diamond Flagging Service keeps your community safe while also making sure it stays moving. Give Diamond Flagging Service a call today for their services. They also offer amazing job opportunities. Diamond Flagging Services, proud supporter of the Mountain Athletes.
Unfortunately, water, mold, or fire damage can happen to you. Restoration One of Southern West Virginia is available 24/7 to help take the stress out of your mess. Our primary goal is to respond and restore your property back to normal as quickly and safely as possible. When disaster strikes, Restoration One is your go-to cleanup crew. Save our number now in case you need us later. Whether the job is big or small, give Restoration One a call. 304-443-4959.
Back here in Williamson, West Virginia at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. We got Kevin Keathley to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, and we got Cam Sloan here, Coach. He's what you call a legacy kid at Tug Valley. You know, he's got a strong bloodline. You know, his dad was part of the first state championship teams to ever go through Tug Valley. So, that's what, Cam, I want to ask you first is, you know, being able to come, is there a little more pressure knowing that it's kind of a family tradition to win state titles?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look up and I watch my dad's old films of him playing ball at the state championship. I mean, it's just an expectation at this point. And he holds me to a higher standard, and I just look forward to that. And I've already got him beat on the state championships, so I'm ready to go up there and play. But I've never started in a championship game where I haven't got much playing time in the past years, so this means a little bit more to me, and this one's a little special to me because my dad did it before me, and this is why it's so exciting for me.
Well, not just are you coming into this year as, you know, you're that fifth starter now, but,
yeah,
you know, you come into this as a star, you know, and you really started that in the football season. You know,
yeah.
Coach, you may not know this, but he's one of the best wide receivers in all Southern West Virginia.
Thank you.
You know, coming in, you know, it's got knowing that you got used to playing that role in football as being one of the key guys. Does that experience help you coming over to the hardwood?
Yeah, for somewhat like in the mental state, like when you're playing football, you got to be the top guy. From where I'm at, my confidence is at an all-time high, and I could say that it goes over to basketball definitely in the mental state and also in the community. People that has respect for me, and they know what I can do, and they know that I'm athletic enough to play. So it definitely does.
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you, you mentioned something, your previous question was, look, this is really, okay, now your first time where you've got a big-time, you can put your imprints on this game in a big-time way for the first time. What's it like, as you said, maybe being more of a role guy in previous years to where now it's, okay, listen, I'm one of the guys that's got to produce at a high level for us to win. The feeling, and you touched on a little bit, feels a little sweeter. Talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit further. Go deeper into that.
I mean, I look at it as just an amazing opportunity. I'm blessed to be in this position and with all my teammates and everything, especially with this team I've played with in my whole life. And I'm so excited just to be in this opportunity. I mean, you could say I'm a little nervous, but I just look at it as more excitement than anything, just to be able to go up to states and just our history and our program. It's just a blessing to be able to be in this position and to just repeat what people have done and just make history.
Yeah, you know, obviously Tug Valley looks at you as, you know, they don't have a big, so I mean, you have to do that job of what a big normally will.
Yeah.
You know, you go up against Ritchie County, they got a kid at 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
You know, what do you have to do to ensure that you guys walk out there with that first round victory?
I mean, obviously we like size, and that's one thing everybody's known about us, but looking around, everybody same size, but we're all like very fast team, and we can push the floor. And I think our press is gonna bother them because I don't think that nobody's really been able to handle our pressure this year, and I think that's gonna be a big thing for us, and we're gonna be able to press them. And then obviously, with their 7-footers, we just got to keep them out of the paint, and we just got to keep on running them and push them all over the floor.
You lack size, but you don't lack heart, right?
Yeah.
Make up for
No,
it.
not at all.
Yeah.
The big 7-foot kid.
There you go, Coach. How you like that? No back down.
I like that, right?
Yeah. The Cam, you stepping in, to that role, a lot of people's going to look, and whenever they look, like right now, Billy Zeke says Cam's dad Timmy was one of the best all-around defenders and all-around players to ever come through Tug Valley.
Yeah.
The Brandon Munson says Tug Valley can win it all if they play defense like they can.
Yeah.
Cam's got to come up big. Whether y'all win or lose, a lot of it's going to fall on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, did Cam do his job? That's got to be something, that you coming in kind of, splitting them nerves and kind of excitement nerves, does that put a little extra pressure on you knowing that people's going to look at you as one of the key components?
I can see that because my dad was known for his defense, but I look at it as I got a job to do, and me personally, I have confidence, and I think I'm going to lock him down. Every game, I don't lack confidence. I know that I have a job to do, and I think that I can lock him down. And I know my coaching staff believes in me because in the lineup, they tell me that I'm guarding him. So that puts them that they have trust in me, and I believe in myself that I can. And I'm going to show them that, and I'm going to show everybody else that. And I'm just going to follow my father's footsteps because he's known for that. And I don't look at it as much of pressure. I just look at it as an opportunity to prove myself.
Half of the battle is believing you can, right, Darryl?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's exactly where you're at. I like that mindset, and obviously the belief that Coach Rabbit Thompson has in him, Darryl, is, listen, I believe you can go in and you can lock that young man down.
Yeah.
And the size differential, what is it, Darryl McCoy? Probably, where are we at inches-wise?
7 or 8 inches,
7
I'd
or
say.
8 inches. So you're giving up 7 or 8 inches, but ability and belief go a long way. What are some of the things? Has Rabbit given you any little tips, little shenanigans on how to guard the big fella? Has he broke it down to you behind the scenes and said, "Look, we need to guard like this, guard like that," right?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, obviously the kid's 7 foot or 6'8", something like that. Obviously we got to keep him out of the paint. We got to keep him pushed out of the paint because obviously the lack in size and the kid's 6'8", the ball's got to come a long way down to the ground. So there's going to be a big gap in between that. So that just causes a big, just an opportunity for me to make plays on defense and stuff. And I know that coach trusts me and everything. So I believe in myself that I'm able to do it.
I kind of look at you and Preston as a combo.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of shared the duties of guarding the bigs. Is it something that you've talked to him too, and like, hey, listen, we're going to have to combine and both have huge games. Is that, because I feel like a lot of people tie you and him together.
Yeah. I mean, it's always the same thing. It comes down to defense and rebounding for us, and we. Like, obviously, Braden and Zade and Carson, they're going to go out and do their thing on offense. They need somebody to come in and rebound for them. They need somebody to lock down somebody. And we just got to come together, and we've talked about this, like, we got to come together and sacrifice things for our team for the better of us.
Yeah, and the thing that I like, too, a lot of people talk about defense. I talk about the clutch shots, clutch plays that you've made down the stretch. Is that something you've always had? Is that clutch gene? Because you come up with big plays when Tug Valley needs it.
I mean, I've been in a lot of moments throughout my life just playing constant ball, even in football, just big moments I've always had to step up in, and I've never been afraid to step up in them moments. I've always just stayed calm and just been ready for the moments, and I'm ready for the moments to come in the future. And that just comes with confidence and trust in myself. And I just believe in myself.
Yeah, playing with Braden Ferris, what's it been like?
I mean, obviously, I think Braden is the best player in single A, maybe the best guard in the state. it could go either way. But I trust Braden, and that Braden's just a great friend to have, and he's just great to be growing up with because I've played with him my whole high school career. And Braden's somebody I look up to on the floor because of the way he carries himself and just the way he stays calm in big moments and situations.
It's got to make you excited, the addition of Zade Rash, Aiden Copelan, because, after you get that third straight state title this year, y'all's going to have to go for 4 next year. And them two, they're the huge additions, right?
Yeah, it helps a lot having them because if we win this year, I can be going for my 4th straight. So I would win every year of my high school career. And knowing that we have them, that's a true possibility. But we got to get through this one first. And I'm not going to look too far into the future, but it's nice knowing that they're there. And I truly believe that. I mean, not even in the future, but they're helping us in the present right now. They've just been huge additions into our team this year. And I'm thankful that they made the decision to come over and join us.
Do you want St. Joe in round 2, or would you rather them get upset?
I want St. Joe.
You want them?
That they dunked the ball at the main end, and that's just been on my mind a lot. But first round we got Ritchie County. We need to get through Ritchie County first, just one game at a time. But it's nice knowing that we have St. Joe coming up in the second round because I want them to win because I'd like to see them again.
Well, Coach, you got to like that attitude, and the thing I like, Cam, about that is, when, no matter what, if you're going to win a state title, there's a good chance you was going to have to play St. Joe along the way anyway. So I'd rather play them early when you know you're healthy, when you know the excitement's there, than, on that third day.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
But Cam, my last question for you, if you was to go get your alternator worked on, where are you going to go?
I'm going to go to CNA.
There you go, CNA Auto, Coach. Getting a plug in there. Guys, we're going to step aside, and when we come back, Jace Hale coming up. We'll be right back.
Getting ready for sports means protecting those eyes. Up to 90% of sport-related eye injuries can be prevented with proper eye protection. White Eye Care knows this and is committed to providing the best protective sportswear for your child's eyes. As a proud sponsor of our community sports programs, we want to see our kids protected, from the little ones up to the big leagues. Our huge selection of eyewear makes finding that perfect pair easy. So win big this season. Call White Eye Care in Logan for an appointment today.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the Southern coalfields.
For any of your financial needs, we encourage you to stop by one of our 5 convenient locations or apply online today at lbnt.com.
Whether you choose to stop by or visit us online, our team is here to help you every step of the way.
Buying a new home, expanding your business, choose Logan Bank and Trust. Let's bank together.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Logan Regional Medical Center, our comprehensive inpatient rehabilitation program helps get you back to living life. With an 8-bed unit for patients 18 and over, our caring team of doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation specialists work with you, providing a full line of services to help you restore your capabilities and get you back home and back to living. Logan Regional Medical Center, providing inpatient rehabilitation close to home.
Call 304-752-3474 and see Missy Birchfield at your good friends at State Farm in Logan, West Virginia. She gives out free insurance quotes, so make sure you see her at State Farm.
Come on down to Three Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We're located on the corner of Harvey Street and 3rd Avenue. We got great deals on pizzas, sandwiches, and more. You get great service with great pricing. Enjoy your birthday or ball games with us here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Look forward to seeing you.
Call 304-752-3474 and see Missy Birchfield at your good friends at State Farm in Logan, West Virginia. She gives out free insurance quotes, so make sure you see her at State Farm.
And we're back here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew in Williamson, West Virginia. We got Kevin Keathley to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, and we got Jace Hale here with us, Coach. Let's go to the Jim Mart Service comment section before we get in. Billy Zeke says Zade is one of the best passers Tug Valley has when he passes the ball. It's always hard and right on target. Brandon Muncie says Jace is a great kid.
Nice catch.
And, so as we're sitting here, we'll get this adjusted here in just a second. And Jamie Deskin says Cam, Jace, and Preston can do it. So as you sit here and look, Jace, you've been in this situation. Obviously last year, your brother was a key component to the state title or the first 2 state titles. You coming in this year as a senior, and you got one of the biggest roles because, when there's a really big guy, you're the one that gets the call. Just talk about your role on this team and how it's been your senior season.
Coming in as a senior, obviously, first couple games I started, and I was always on the bigger guy. But as time went on, we figured out that some adjustments needed to be changed, so they started somebody else in the line, and as soon as they come out and I need to go in on the big guy, that's what I needed to do. And if I need to have some perimeter defense or interior defense, as that is, then that's what I'm prepared to do. We practice for it. We do 3-quarter high, 3-quarter low every day in practice, and we prepare as much as we can where we're an undersized team.
Yeah, coming in, obviously, you, Carson, Braden, and who's the other senior? Bryson. Yeah. Y'all 4 finishing this out together. How sweet would it be to run off 3 in a row?
It'd be one of the greatest things that we've ever accomplished here. They've already got a back-to-back state championship in 12 and 13, but nobody's ever done 3 from here. It's been 5 in the state, and it'd be a blessing to get another one.
Everybody talks about Caden Hill's shooting ability, but, you could step out and stretch that floor. Against Man the other night, you hit a big one. Who's the best shooter in the family?
Definitely Caden.
There you go. Jace, this here, have you had a chance to soak it in yet? This is your senior year and a chance to leave a legacy. Are you just enjoying the moment right now, or have you soaked in any of this yet?
I'm trying to soak in as much as I can, but you got to take a step back and realize what you have and how good of a time that you're in. I mean, we're in the best time of our lives. We might not realize that, but it'll be over soon. Yeah. So I'm just trying to live it and have fun while I'm doing it.
Yeah, you got to think, we talked about we talked to Cam about them having that 6'7" kid. You got to think, your number's going to be called quite a bit, especially in that first round game. Having to play against a taller player like that, have you really honed in on what your game plan is going in?
We're going to try to contain him as best as we can. He's their leading scorer. You got him and number 5, but he's the biggest threat, really. Most call him like one of the best playmakers in the state, so we're going to try to contain him as much as we can. Cam's going to start out on him, try to contain him if he's on the perimeter. When he comes down low, I'm sure me or Preston will pick him up and contain him to as few points as we can.
You got to be physical, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what that was going to be my question. Tug Valley undersized this year compared to the other teams as you move out in West Virginia. How do you guys compensate, and you still are at the top of the heap this year, last year, previous years? How do you compensate for that, maybe that lack of big-time size and length? What's the secret in game planning or just competitiveness? What are you guys doing where you guys all of a sudden turn what people may perceive as a weakness into a strength?
I think the biggest thing is keeping a ton of ball pressure up top, so it makes it hard for them to enter the ball into the post. And then when they do enter into the post, we're going to be fronting them as much as we can. We'll have that backside help always there. So we found a way that works, and we're just going to stick to it.
Darryl, ball pressure up top always negates a lot of size on the backside.
Yeah, Tug Valley's speed and defense, their defense makes up for any size they lack. And Billy Zeke said, Jace plays with heart and hustle on every play. He said, great kid, great family. Jace, the one thing I'll say, going down here, is we'll go back to that St. Joe loss like I have with the others. That leave a little sting in you, knowing that they was able to knock y'all off and put y'all in this two-seed spot.
Yeah, it definitely did. It wasn't the greatest game that we've ever played, and I think once the time comes, if they do end up beating Tucker, that we'll be able to get back at them. But we have to take it one game at a time. We got to knock off Ritchie County first.
Yeah. Well, Jace, you've definitely been one of my favorites, and I know the Tug Valley fan base. They all wait, for the moment when you enter the game, and you get as big of applause as anybody. Especially when you're able to knock down one of them first two shots. Yeah. Going out playing in Charleston this year. I hope you get to go out with a bang because, you've always played whatever role they've gave you and bought into the team concept, and you deserve all the flowers that come your way. You're one of them players it takes to win a state title. A kid that will do anything that's asked, and so I look forward to seeing what you do, and I expect you to have some big moments down in Charleston.
I appreciate that.
All right, guys, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we got Preston May coming up. Stop by Eric Homa Drug today and let them fill your prescription. Eric Homa Drug has been serving the Chapmanville community for over 46 years. They're a proud supporter of the Chapmanville Tigers and all mountain athletes.
Hi, Smokey Armstrong, United Motorsports in Belfry. Kick into high gear with great deals on new Honda motorcycles and ATVs. Power through any terrain with savings up to $7,000 on selected Polaris side-by-sides and ATVs. Built for work, built for play, and ready to ride. Get the job done with Kawasaki. New and pre-owned inventory from parts to service and the financing to get you approved. It's all right here. United Motorsports, Belfry.
All right, guys, we're back here at Three Guys Pizza and Brew. Kevin Keathley to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, and we got QB1 in the house, Coach. We got one of the top quarterbacks in all the Cofields sitting here with us, and he's not too shabby of a basketball player either, Coach.
No, not at all. And listen, if you're QB1, this is just another day at the office and sitting behind the mic, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's used to these interviews. Your teammate told me today, you was working on, y'all all went to the barbershop, had your hairs designed, and they said that you walked away with the best haircut of them all. Let's take a look and see what you got there.
See it.
Yeah, Coach, that ain't bad.
No. I like this.
Big shout out to Matt Harris. He cleaned us all up straight.
Is that who done it?
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Again, guys, I want to thank Three Guys Pizza and Brew, United Motorsports, and Preston. You're another kid that, your brother was quite the player, and in my mind, until I met Bryson Eli, he was the best athlete to come through it in the D&D era. I'll always look at your brother as one of my favorites I've ever covered. He's just a great kid, great athlete, dual sport athlete. Right now, have you soaked it in that you're going through moments that your brother dreamed about?
Yeah, I sure am. As good of what a team they had and as good of what a player he is, I'm sure thankful to be in this, area of players and thankful to be, attempting to be three-peat here. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons, too, why I'm here is, just growing up. I developed the mental and physical toughness from playing against both of my older brothers. I always looked up to them, and that's I think that's a big part of why I'm here today, too.
Yeah, you took, and coming into this year, you suffered a pretty bad injury last year. Yeah. And Coach Preston, he didn't play last year. You set last year out to focus on that injury. If you remember, Coach, in middle school,
Preston, you're really familiar with the 2027 class. Preston was one of the top players, right there, top 5 in that 2027 class. Along with Zade Rash, his teammate now, your son. Just talking, taking that year off, how hard was that for you to take that year off of basketball, knowing that, that's what everybody known you for was basketball?
Oh, it was huge, man. That'll set anybody back, taking a whole year off and especially not being able to hardly do anything with it. I'm just blessed to be able to come back and be able to still get out there and play with my buddies, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity.
Now, so you won a state title your first year.
Yep.
And then last year you set out.
Yep.
So you're going for your second state title.
Yeah.
Being able to take, we talked to Cam about it, Zade, Aiden Copelan coming over. After y'all take care of business here in this year and win 3 in a row, it goes to 4 in a row next year.
That's it.
How big was them 2 additions to y'all?
Oh, they was huge, tremendous. Really, we still would have had, me and Jace, we had to step up in. We lost 2 or 3 excellent players last year, and I think without those 2 coming over and then some of us other guys stepping up into those roles, we wouldn't be here right now without them. So very, very thankful and glad that they come over and joined us. I think that was a huge asset to our team.
Yeah, this year you've had you played a role that not, like you come in at the beginning of the year, you started, and and then you've been in and out of that starting lineup all year. Rabbit, he likes to toy with stuff to try to figure out, gets each team, what's the best lineup against each opponent.
Right.
Is it hard, I know you're the type of kid, just whatever role you're given, you're going to play, but is it hard sometimes to keep your mind straight, like, and knowing, like, Rabbit's one of them coaches, there's no ill will. He's trying to toy with stuff to make sure y'all is the best version of yourself.
Yeah, the way I see it is whatever my team and my coaches need me to be, I'm just going to come in and play hard, physical, fight for rebounds, and come in and play as hard and as good as what I can, and however I can contribute to the team, and then the coaches knows what's best.
Players like that's hard to find, right, Coach?
Well, that was going to be my question to you, because he said, folks, I want to keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
So I got one question for you. Is a lot like, and I mentioned this over at Mark County, Devin Maynard, who is QB1.
Yeah.
He steps over on the basketball court, and he may not necessarily be the guy that gets the rock every time down the floor, but he said, whatever I can do to help my team win, whether it's being physical, defending, finishing around the rim, whatever it can be, I'll do it. And I would say that leaders lead no matter where they're at, and they're not afraid to adjust. Talk a little bit about that, where you go from being QB1, where a lot of times, all eyes on you, to maybe on the basketball court, maybe what you do sometimes goes unnoticed. Talk about that in your mindset. You talked a little bit about it, but that's a tremendous mindset to have.
Yeah.
And that's why teams that win big, they have guys like that.
Yeah, actually, I enjoy it sometimes, being able to sit back and just kind of let the game come to me, not have to be fully in control, sit back and kind of do my thing. I think that definitely, it helps me a lot, being able to not have to do everything all at once and just let it come to me. And I'm very, very glad to be able to come fill that role, fill that position, and just be whatever I need to be for my team.
Yeah, you and Cam and Jace, y'all kind of have to, combine and gang tackle, when teams has got great bigs, against Ritchie County, obviously having the big fellas 6'8", a lot of weight's going to be on your shoulders. Are you prepared to go out and, do, you're going to have to box out every play. You're going to have to defend every play, outrun them up the floor. Are you prepared to go and do that, make sure y'all get the job done
100%.
And meet St. Joe in round 2?
100%. I believe, just about anybody on our team just has the fight, no matter the size difference, to be able to get in there and to guard that guy. And I'm sure we'll probably all get in foul trouble, so I'd say 2 or 3 of us is going to be on him by the end of the game. But as long as we end up holding him and holding the rest of their players, I think, and playing our ball, we'll come out with a W and be on to St. Joe, which will, that's going to be a tough game too. So if we come out and fight like I know we can, that'd be an easy win.
Preston, again, we're very excited to see you back on the basketball court. I know everybody else likes to watch you play in football, but I remember how special you was on the basketball court, and it's good to have you back. And and go to Charleston, have fun, soak us in, and get this 3rd straight state title. And then I hope you have the year you deserve as a senior in football.
All righty, appreciate
guys.
it.
Be right back.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Looking for a new healthcare provider? Come see us at Tug Valley Wellness Clinic. We take all patients from the ages 2 and up. Our staff has over 30 years of medical experience. We do everything from DOT physicals, wellness exams, adult and child, walk-in visits, and more. Call us today at 304-236-3601 or reach us Monday through Friday.
If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza.
Back here in Williamson, West Virginia, Three Guys Pizza and Brew. We got Kevin Keathley to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, coach, and we still got all the energy in the building, and they're all cheering on this young man here, Aiden Copelan. Aiden, Coach Keathley, we talked about Zade, but he knows you quite well too. As you come over to Tug Valley late in the process this year, and it seems like you was kind of the piece, that they needed. Just talk about, coming over to this team late, and, was there some early jitters about how you was going to, impact this team, how you didn't want to step on anybody's toes or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Like the first practice, I was just, a little bit nervous because I met some of them before, but it was just like a new environment to me, and I just didn't know how things would go. But, I love it over here. I love all my teammates and stuff, so I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, Aiden, you coming in, you fit right in what these Tug Valley coaches want to do. You're an elite defender. This summer, I thought you was one of the best 2 players on the floor, at Martin County. Obviously that's missing some pieces, but you had as good a summer as anybody. Did that help give you confidence coming in, knowing like, okay, listen, I'm good enough to defend some of the best players in this region and make an impact? Did that help you, have the confidence coming into this season?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever I was at Martin County, in practice, I would always try to guard the best players, to try to work on my defense. So I've always been a good defender ever since middle school, and just carried over to now. So.
Well, Aiden, I got a chance to watch you in some open gyms, and got a chance to watch in some open gyms, and one of the things I would talk to Braxton about, who was your teammate for a little bit, was your skill set. And I said, man, oh man, this young man's going to help Martin County tremendously this year, and didn't get to see that. I know we wish we could have over at Martin County. I know Braxton did it. We was always talking, man, this kid can go. Talk about what you do in the gym to get ready, because I know you're a big-time worker, and one of the hardest workers that was at Martin County. Talk about a little bit about your routine that's got you prepared that now you can make an impact on the state championship run at such a young age.
Well, I took my off season very seriously. I was always lifting weights, shooting ball, just getting ready for moments like these to go play down here on a big stage. And I just take it very seriously so I can be ready for these moments.
Did you envision at the start of the preseason at Martin County, I believe you were there at the zip zone as well, right?
Yeah.
Did you envision, wait a minute, your journey, your career would take some curves this year, and all of a sudden now you're playing for a state title? Did you envision that in October when you were at Martin County?
No, I didn't at all. I thought I was going to stay a Cardinal forever, and then things happened, so I just looked for a change, and I'm just glad to be here.
Man, it's paid off for Tug Valley, Darryl McCoy.
Yeah, God had different plans for you, right?
Yep.
Aiden, you coming in, people, a lot like Braden Ferris. You remind me a lot of Braden in his younger years. Everybody said, he's too small, he's this, he's that. But every year he continues to go out, get better at different areas in his game. He started on the defensive end, and he ended up becoming one of the elite offensive players in our area.
just talk about right now. I mean, you're a great defender right now. But I think a lot in Tug Valley. It seems like Coach Thompson's really got faith in you, especially at corner pocket 3. Just talk about right now offensively. Where's your mindset and how you impact this team on the offensive end?
Well, I mean, I just try to play defense, and if I hit open shots, that's what I want to try to do. Let's be open. If Braden can kick it to me, I'll be there to shoot it. But next year we ain't going to have Braden, Carson, and all them, so I'm going to step up and fill one of their roles next year for us to be successful.
Yeah, there was a play down the stretch there against Man where, I seen you come down and you had an open layup and you chose to pass it off and, kind of paying respect to the seniors in that moment. Being able to play with this special senior group, and Carson reminds me a lot of you. Just kind of talk about how you look at them as a leader and how you look at them as mentors.
Braden and Carson are probably our 2 of our 3 best players this year. So I always just look at them, try to see what they're doing to get better, try to see how they lead the team, because next year I'm going to have to do that too. So I just try to watch them and learn from them every day.
Coach Thompson, obviously you're new to the Tug Valley process here. What has Coach Thompson meant to you in your career?
Oh, I mean, as soon as I walked in day one, he was there making jokes with me, treat me as family. As soon as I walked in, he's always just been there, wanting me to get better, all kinds of stuff.
How about this coaching staff with Ronnie and Kurt over there? They're probably a never dull moment, right?
No, absolutely not. They're goofballs, them 2 are.
Yeah, Aiden, your dad's also a coach. Growing up, I know it meant a lot to him to see the work that y'all put in the gym together. Does it relieve you that you're finally getting a chance at an early part of your career to show what you can do?
Oh, absolutely. He's always been hard on me, want me to get in the gym, get shots up. So for him to see me actually get a play and do good in the role I'm in, he's just very proud of me.
Makes you feel good, right?
Yep.
Aiden, what are you looking forward to the most about Charleston? You've not experienced it, but what are you looking forward to?
To eat. I'm a big eater, so hopefully we go to a lot of good spots, and it's all.
You definitely can't tell that. And I'll say, we'll go back to the first year we done this. It reminds me a lot of Aiden Armstrong. Coach Thompson said you got to hold on to him tightly when the wind blows. So I think we need to feed you all we can down there.
Yep.
So if y'all win, and you can tell coaches, hey, this is where I want to eat at. Where you want to eat at?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go, Coach. So what you go to there? Big steak?
Yeah, absolutely.
That,
the baked potato, salad.
There you go, Coach. Yeah. That's Coach Keathley's go-to when we go there too. Baked potato and a salad.
Yeah.
Aiden, this, as you mentioned, this year here, you get that experience winning that state title. You go into next year having to, be more of a leader. This summer, when you look at your game right now, what does Aiden Copelan got to work on to become the best possible version of himself?
Well, my defense is really good right now, so I think I need to work on my offensive skill set, like shooting off the dribble, finishing around the rim, handling it better, just stuff like that. I got to get in the gym this summer and work.
Coach, any last questions?
No, I'm just very proud of you. I've been a big fan of yours since the first time I got to really watch you in open gym several times and bragged on you every night. And I said, this young man's going to be a really, really good basketball player. And he's proving it right now.
Absolutely. Aiden, soak in every bit of this moment because you deserve everything you're going through right now, young man. The big fans, and we'll see you in Charleston. Go get that ring.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll be right back. Rabbit Thompson coming up next. Come on down to Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia, and let us fill all your shopping needs. It's the holiday season. Don't be left without a gift to give. We got 90-day layaway, delivery. We got the best prices around. We will beat anybody's prices. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. 7 days a week, we're open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 7, Sunday, 11 to 6. Also, come find a treasure in our pallet bins. We got great deals. You never know what you'll find in our bins. That's Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia. We look forward to seeing you. Folks, if you're in the market for a storage building, garage, barn, or custom structure, there's only one name you need to know. Mountaineer Buildings, conveniently located right outside Chapmanville, West Virginia, with multiple locations across Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. They are the largest building company in the coalfields for a reason. They've got a huge inventory on lot, unbeatable deals, and waiting for you. Come see us at Mountaineer Buildings. If you're looking for a friendly and fun atmosphere to enjoy your daily cuisine, come to Cheech's Pizza in Lenore, West Virginia. Cheech's Pizza has world-renowned cheese sticks, delicious pizza, and the best subs in the pizza and pasta game. Don't forget to take advantage of our milkshake shop located inside. Bring your family down to meet ours. We are the place that treats you like family from the second you pull in the parking lot. We look forward to seeing you here at Cheech's Pizza.
It's going down. Anywhere you meet it, guaranteed to go down. Meet me in the. Meet me in the. Meet me in the. It's going down.
Guys, it's going down at 23 Camper Sales. Don't delay your dreams any longer. Come to 23 Camper Sales, where your dream camper is waiting.
And we are back here, guys. Three Guys Pizza and Brew. How about that, Coach? Here the chance of Kurt and fan favorite. He said, tell our on God Bradley Dameron to keep his head down. Said the shine's coming up here blinding him. Yeah, Kevin Keathley, Darryl McCoy, Coach, and we're here with the legend, Kurt Fletcher. Coach, I like your shirt. I coach champions. You ain't lying, are you?
I ain't lying. They're all in front of me out there. Great champions year in, year out, and not only on the floor but off the floor.
Yeah, the coach, coming in, this is almost, it's become a tradition here. You almost take this show for granted. The state tournament tip-off show, this is year 3. Now you and Rabbit's kind of switched roles. Now you're his assistant, where for so many years he was your assistant. Just talk about that relationship between you and Rabbit.
Well, we're kind of bonded together. We sometimes, or most of the time, we think a lot alike. Where we've been together, and I'll suggest something. He'll say, "You're right," or he'll say something. I said, "Same thing I was thinking."
Yeah.
So we've been together a long time. We actually got the best coaching. Honestly, coaches that one team could ever had. We've got some great spirit on the team. Coaches, we got Coach Hodge, Coach Ledger, Coach Ronnie, and Coach Rabbit. And very seldom do we disagree. Every once in a while we'll disagree a little bit, but most of the time we're all on the same wavelength. Of course, Rabbit's got the final say, and I think it shows what a great coach he is by looking at his record and all the accomplishments that he has.
So he's going for what, 5 at Tug Valley? Is this the 5th?
So many championships I can't count them. Boys.
Coach, everybody knows, your family, so embedded in that Williamson community here. Obviously, the Fletchers, I always say nothing happens in Williamson without the Fletchers making it happen. Just talk about, going over to Tug Valley and, becoming Panthers.
Yeah.
What was that process like, trading in that maroon for the silver and black?
Well, I was at Williamson for so long, it's always hard to give up tradition. But if you look down at Tug Valley, their tradition started back in 88, 89, and it's developed since then. So I just went from one tradition to another, and it's a winning tradition down there. When I was at Williamson, they expect you to win, and if you didn't win, all of a sudden you didn't know anything. And down at Tug, it's the same way in relationship to winning. I'm just glad that they let me be a part of it, and I'm just pretty happy.
As a coach, you won several championships. And I always say this, like every title is different. I've not won as many as you guys have, but I won a couple. But as you let it sit and kind of marinate over the years, it always has just a different feel in each one. Winning as much as you have, Coach, does it ever get old for you? Does it feel? Is there a different buzz to it? Describe how it feels as you continue this journey.
I want to say just a little bit more about the coaches.
Yeah.
We all have our own responsibility
Yeah.
of doing things, and Coach Ledger, he's a kind of morale booster and keeps everybody lined out. And Coach Hodge, he does a lot of draws up the plays and does a lot of the thinking, to be honest with you. Coach Rabbit, he's the head coach, and I'm yet to find my spot, but sometimes I blend in with all of them. And then Coach Mounts, he helps with the big men a lot of times, and he's the official stat keeper. And Ronnie Blankenship, he's kind of a motivator like I am. He and I sit side by side on the bench, and we discuss a lot of things sometimes. Now, what was your question?
Now, my question, summing it up.
Okay.
After you won so many, you've won several titles, Coach, over the years. Each one always feels a little different. After you can sit back and kind of take it all in, does the feeling ever fade? Is it just as exciting? What's the buzz like? What's the feeling for you right now?
I know, yeah.
I don't want to use that again. I've been.
Well, you took a hard hit after that one last year.
Well, I had a comment on that last year, and I've been told the power is much greater than I. Not to use that again, but I will say after I made that statement, we checked the ratings and they doubled.
They did.
They really did. I mean, it was. But how do they blend together? I get so excited and so happy just on this one.
Right.
And then you go back to the first one, which was a great long time ago. I'm sure I was elated at that time too, because I was a lot younger. But when you get as old as I am, how many more of these you got left? I still feel like I'm spirited and full of spunk, and among other things, and try my best to help the kids. And sometimes you have to work as a mediator between players and either other coaches or whatever you got to do. I kind of blend in, help them all, but just to blend everything back together, I'm just as happy with the last one as I was with the first one.
Yeah, Coach, you wasn't here last year, but he basically put it as intimate moments with his loved ones.
I don't care to tell you what I said. What I said was, coaching is like sex and winning state championships.
Yeah.
It's just as good as the last time as it was the first time.
There you go.
There you go.
100%.
Now check your ratings out there and see if they don't go out the roof.
Coach, when you look at this, the 88 wins for this senior class, the record is 90. If y'all win a state title, you get 91. A lot of records still to be took down here by this senior class. Just talk about these four boys here, what they've meant in this dynasty run.
Well, they've actually been there about as long as I have, and I've watched them develop. And I can remember when I first went down, and we were talking about needing a point guard, and they told me that we think we got a good point guard. So I couldn't wait to get down the first day of practice, and I went down there and I said, wait a minute, where's this good-looking guard that we're supposed to get in here to help us get a state championship? And they said, he's over there. So I looked around, and lo and behold, this fella not very big, well, I think he was a freshman at that time. I said, he's the point guard? And they said, yeah, he's point guard. He's pretty good. So I'm thinking, there's a difference in looking at him and me knowing he's a good player, and John Doe looking at him and know he's a good player. And he's a pretty good player. I've watched him develop. He's got stronger. I told him a couple of years ago, listen, if you really want to play down to the next level, you got to make your jumper smoother. And he worked on his elbow jumper, boom, 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 stop, put it in the hole. He's got so now it's probably 4 out of 5, 80% shot. and he's extended his range out there. Carson Newsome, little old left-handed boy, reminds me of myself when I played, 150 pounds of just true grit, just a great little player, solid, and his defense is great. And then you got Jace, has been a steady person. He's always there no matter what we need. Rebound, put back, three, inside man. And then, of course, we got Bryson Eli, and I just can't say enough about him, the heart he's got and the heart that all these guys have got to play Tug Valley basketball. We played man a couple of days ago, and I had one of my buddies from man call me. Of course, they give me that thing, Coach, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, and by God, it's hard to beat us 1 time.
There you go.
So there we was. And I think I told you before the game it'd be a battle of the guards, and I think our guards proved that they was superior at this time. And I give Man a lot of credit. They got a great coach, and we have a lot of respect for Man. Year in and year out, they're a tough beat.
Everybody says, now, that loss in late season there against St. Joe, there's a good chance that y'all's going to have to play St. Joe in round 2, but they also got to play y'all, right?
Yeah, that's right. Listen, if we play the way we can play, we can win the whole thing. Now, if you're more inconsistent you are, the lesser your chances of winning. But if we play like we can, and our biggest asset is our defense. Our guys really get after it, guys. They bust their old butt. They're not very big, but they're quick as cats. And I'm real proud of them. I like to think I'm the Secretary of Defense because I get after them about their defense, as well as Coach Thompson. He's a great defensive coach too. He and I kind of work on that together. And all of us. Coach Hodge is amazing. There's people all the way around. Well, he don't do much, but I'm telling you, Coach Hodge does as much or more than any other coach for this team in setting up game plays and setting up defenses and offenses and making adjustments. He's just great.
I've always been a huge fan of yours. When you take, I want to ask you this question. You was there during the heyday of the Williamson Wolfpack. When you take and look at Williamson's fan base then compared to Tug Valley's now, how do they differ? And what's so special about them 2 Mingo County fan bases?
Well, I can go way back. I played in the 60s. You probably can't remember when that was, but in 64 we were state champs. In 65 we was baseball state champs, and it just developed on from that. But as far as the fan base, I actually think when I was at Williamson we had a bigger fan base. But don't get excited, Tug Valley fans. Here's the reason why. At that time, we had like 35,000 people in Mingo County, and now we probably got 20.
Yeah.
So there it goes. And what makes it look the same, though, is when you're in the stands, they often ask me how many fans did the field house seat. I said, well, when this field house was built, the seats were 18 inches apart. That was allowed for people's rear ends. So it held about 5,000. Now, as time went on and people's rear ends got up to maybe 36 to 40 inches wide, it just holds about 3,000.
No.
Is that about true? Would you think?
That's true.
Yeah. It's just the math. That's all it is.
You ain't talking about my wife, are you?
No, you sweet-looking thing. I'm not talking about you.
My final question for you, Coach, and you touched on a little bit. You said if we play how we're supposed to play, we can go down there and cut nets down. If you could break it down more in terms of identity, what's it going to take on your end to win night in and night out in terms of your identity?
Well, if you're coaching, you know that you don't shoot the same every night and this and that, but one thing you can do every night is play defense.
Right.
And if we're playing somebody and they score 1, we just have to score 2.
That's right.
So, and I think the other night was a testament to that, a 3-point team like that we played the other night that really shoots the threes. Halftime, they didn't have one. So we kind of, Coach Rabbit kept saying, push them off the line, keep them off the line, the 3-point line. So, that's where we made them at, and we done real good. But I think our defense will always keep us in the game.
Right.
So, and that's what it's going to take. The shots will fall in the second half.
Our chief sports writer on our website, Bradley Dameron, he said that he had to ask Kurt's question. So, Bradley, what's your question?
I think you already answered it, but Kurt, I just want to ask you, what is the best thing about coming, to Tug Valley? The one thing, if you had to pick, about coming over. I know it was a transition for you, but what was that one thing that really?
School spirit, probably. To have a good team, a lot of times in a close game, the fans get you over the hump. And there's especially when you win, there's a lot of people gets on board and give us a boost, and especially our Boosters Club, Pep Club, and the administration at Tug is great. They've always been behind us, and anything we need, almost they stand up. Doug Ward and Tamara are both great, and I'm just tickled to death to be part of this little old situation, and I'm glad that Rabbit invited me along as I slowly sink in the West, to let me be part of the team.
I was going to ask you about, going back to Charleston. You already answered that pretty well for us.
Yeah, Kurt, I'm not going to waste my last question. I'm going to give you the stage to tell us about this young talent coming up in Mingo County, Fletcher Simpkins. Tell us all about this kid and why we need to keep an eye on him.
Well, they used to say he's got good stock. You know what that means, Coach. He got good stock, but he's got good ingredients. He just needs to work like everybody else does to get better, and he's got potential. He's got potential. His biggest asset is he sees the game well. He runs the floor well. In football, he sees the field real well. He appears he's very intelligent. He's on every distinguished award there is at school, and most that's attributed to his mental abilities. And he's got potential, and I think if he works, he'll do pretty good. What's his
route, football or basketball?
Well, he says football.
Okay.
He's a real good baseball player.
Yeah. And
so I just hope he plays them all and gets a chance to develop himself. And Hodge, I tell our kids, this is the best time of your life right now. This is the best time of your life. What you're doing now, it'll always go with you, and enjoy it and give it 100% and give yourself a chance to develop yourself, because you're playing right now and doing the things that so many kids wish they could do. Because look at these little old kids out here in the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th grade. They're out there yelling, just their eyes are this, but you are their idols. I don't want to say idols, but people they look up to, And the Fletcher's got the same people he looks up to, and I've got the same people I look up to. Coach Thompson, he's got more championships, so I got to kind of look up to him because he's my boss for one thing, and whatever he says, I try to do. I just try my best to keep from going ballistic.
Coach, Kurt never lets us down, Coach, so I always look forward to this interview. And, Kurt, going into Charleston this year, this one will hit a little different for Tug Valley. If y'all's able to complete the dynasty, it takes 3 in a row to start a dynasty. And, this group will go down as one of the best ever in West Virginia. I think, 5 teams in the state history? Yeah, that's ever won 3 in a row, and y'all got a chance to do that. So.
Well, I appreciate you letting me expound a few words out here, and all you probably 2,000 to 3,000 people out there I'm talking to. I'm just glad that I could be part of this team, and I want you, if you can, to come to Charleston. We're going to give it a 110%, win, lose, or draw. they'll know we've been there because we're going to try our best to put the defense on them. And like I say, win, lose, or draw, we've got a great team, and I'm so proud of these kids. I'm proud of the coaching staff. But it all starts, I got a wife, and I got 2 kids and a grandson, and they're all sports people, and all of them kick into the community. If they need a buck to buy something for the kids, we try to round it up. If somebody needs to be taken somewhere, we can take them. But, we just feel like we're part of the community. We're doing the same thing at Williamson. And I will say, if I'm coaching at Tug Valley, or even, by God, if I'm coaching at Gilbert or where else, I'm 100% for that team I'm coaching for. That's who I am. I'm for that team because I feel like I'm part of it. There's nobody will fight for a team more than Coach Thompson will, and I will, and Coach Hodge, and Coach Ledger, and Coach Mounts, and even Ronnie Blankenship. Bless his heart. I know he's got family he had to take home, but he's pretty good, the guy. So if Coach Thompson or whoever, if he can fight through the line.
They're hanging from the rafters.
Yeah, you people in the middle there kind of move over a little bit so Coach can get up here. Especially you heavy-set women, move over just a little bit.
Hey, leave my mother-in-law out of this, Kurt.
She's a nice lady, though.
She is. Kurt is sitting here again. Listen, I grew up, you guys, like you said, you got people you look up to, and you was it for us growing up. I'm from Belfry, but Williamson was the same as Belfry. Yeah. We always cheer for each other, and you can't talk Mingo County sports without talking about the Fletchers and what you guys do for this community, this county. This community can never repay you guys. Thank you, and go get this extra one here, and then I know these next few years you're going to be focused on a young pup coming up. So enjoy this one, and then it's going to get a little more stressful over the next 4.
And I'm going to leave you with this: if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
There you go. Guys, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we got Garland Rabbit Thompson.
If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Marr is here for you. Jim Marr is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today.
5 times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years. If you need heating, cooling, electrical work, a fantastic generator, residential or commercial, done right at a fair price by honest experts, remember the name, Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Visit PreciseHeatingCooling.com for an appointment. Precision, the best of the best, again.
Come see us at Trailhead Bar and Grill in Macon, West Virginia, where the locals come to hang out and the trail riders come to visit.
Follow us on Facebook page for our daily specials. We're open 7 days a week here at Trailhead Bar and Grill.
You can give them a call at 681-308-6088. Make sure you follow them on their Facebook page to keep up with all their daily specials and for business and operation hours. Trailhead Bar and Grill, located downtown Matewan, West Virginia.
With tax season coming up, make the smart decision with your money. Stop at Tommy's Auto Sales in Inez, Kentucky. Right now you can get cars, trucks, and SUVs at the best prices around. Tommy's Auto Sale is a proud supporter of the Martin County Cardinals and all Mountain athletes. Back here in Williamson, West Virginia, 3 Guys Pizza and Brew, and we have come down to the final interview, Coach, and we got the great Tug Valley coaching staff. I think we're missing two back here. We're missing Ronnie and Kurt, but we're here with the legend, Rabbit Thompson. Coach, you shake your head no, but everybody in here knows you're a legend, and right now what you're doing. Well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning of the season. Coming in, y'all without a big. A lot of people said, this run's going to end here. They got a great player in Braden, but I don't know they got enough to carry them without Buddy down low. Just talk about how this team has really left its mark defensively and helped make up for not having that size.
Well, okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for coming here and doing this state tournament interview with Brad and all you guys, KJ. I really appreciate this, guys. I know our community appreciates it. It gives a chance for us all to get out into the community. I watch you all the time. So I appreciate you. I also want to thank Jared for bringing us here, to Three Guys Pizza and Brew. I'm stuffed like a big blue tick right now. I can't hardly move. But, to answer your question, after, we really haven't had a big in a couple of years. Yeah. Now, we had Buddy Markham a couple of years ago. But last year, it was Ashton and it was Ethan. We had a very good shooter in Caden Hale. I think our team has evolved a little bit. You have to play to strengths. And our strength this year, I think, obviously Braden coming back, there's not enough adjectives I can describe to say what Bryson come back, another experienced starter, Carson Newsome, Jace Hale. So, they kind of, set the tone really for our basketball team. When we won it last year, one of the very first things, that I mentioned to them last year was, hey, history is here now. Yeah. We can create history. Now, this is going to be tough. Let's not kid ourselves. I know what's out there. It ain't surprising me. Right. We can blow up everything all you want, but this is going to be tough here. But we have a chance to do something, that's been said here 50,000 times here today. We got a chance to create history. But here's the problem with creating history. Ritchie County knows that. St. Joe knows that. Greater Beckley knows that. Tucker County knows that. East Hardy knows that. The officials know that. The people in the stands know that. We are fighting more than just one team. We're fighting the ghosts. Yeah. And that's tough enough as it is. But I believe these kids, they have come on. Our defense, when we want to, is locked down. They share the ball. They're unselfish to a fault sometimes. I love them. I love our seniors.
Coach, this senior class has 88 career wins. The record is 90. So if y'all win a state title, they will be the all-time. So there's a little bit more history for you to take down.
Thank you. I didn't know that, but this has been a very successful class. I know that. Very successful. I thank Kurt for all he does. These men behind me here, they've got my back. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not. But fortunately, I've got good kids who cover for my mistakes, and I've got a staff back here that have my back even when I do blow.
Well, I got my only question for you, Coach. Let Darryl take it over from there, but. My question is, a lot of times coaches look at it differently as they head into postseason play. Someone said, we're gonna focus on us. There's not a lot that we can do, but play be who we are. Yes, sir. And some coaches say, we're gonna do a ton of scout. We're gonna stay up all night. How do you approach it, Coach, you and your coaching staff?
We try to be, what we do best. Right. Now, I think you got to look at a little film. I think you got to do a little scouting on Ritchie County. Now, again, just like you said, I'm more concerned of how we're going to respond up there on Tuesday at 1:00. Is those lights bright? Is Richie going to play the game of their lives against us? So, while we try to prepare for them, I think, to a certain extent, we got to be who we are, and that is, pressure defense, try to run as much as we can. Hopefully we get a break. Hopefully we shoot the ball good. And, at this point in the season, there's 8 teams left. We can scout all we want on Richie, but then if we're fortunate enough, the Lord willing, we're fortunate enough to win Tuesday, we got one day to prepare for St. Joe. Now, how much can you really prepare in one day? We'll try to watch a film that we watch, but they say it sometimes. I don't know if this is appropriate, but the hay's in the barn. Right. Do they want it? How bad do they want it? Now we will fight.
Yep.
We will fight everything we got for those kids. Now it comes down, do they want that?
Yep. And here I want to ask a question to Coach Hodge back here real quick.
Yeah, he's my right-hand man.
Coach, you mentioned last year, Naugatuck, there's nothing like Naugatuck. And, y'all don't get a lot of transfers in, and not a lot of kids transfer out. If you're born here, you're pretty much raised here. Just talk about these 2 transfers you got in this year in Zade Rash and Aiden Copelan and what they've meant to this team, in a year where, you had a roller coaster ride with Bryson Eli, Carson coming back from his injury, Preston coming back. Just talk about, them new additions and, how welcome they've been this year.
I can't really tell that they've not ever been there. I mean, it's a family thing, and they came in and we told them, Coach told them the 3rd day of practice. We have a meeting after our very first, after we go through all of our tryouts and all that stuff, and he says, "You're a Tug Valley guy. You are Tug Valley now. I mean, it doesn't change anything," and that's what they are, and that's how we look at things. And this is the first time we've ever had anybody come in that I know of, but as far as they're our family. I mean, they've came in, our kids have accepted them, everybody here has accepted them, and they are one of us. I mean, nothing's going to change that now. I mean, they're Tug Valley people, and that's how it's going to be. And I'm thankful they're here. I'm thankful that both of them are here. I don't think we're where we are without them. And I think that's a testament to those other guys that's back there, that they've accepted these guys like they have, and that's a good thing. It's basketball today. It's a revolving thing, and it's going to change. I mean, but it is what it is, and they're Tug Valley. I mean, they are part of our family, and that's how. I mean, that's basically. I mean, I'm proud of them. I'm glad they're here.
Coach, this Braden Ferris. Last year he had one of the most dominant runs of any point guard in that I've watched in Charleston. Coming into this year, how big do you think that run was last year for his confidence this year? And I think he's proven, he may be the best point guard in the state.
Well, in my opinion, he is. I think it really started, 3 years ago. Yeah. When he was all tournament his freshman year, and we took Tucker County to the wire, but we didn't get it done. Yeah. But he was all tournament. He, I can remember against I think we played Wayne the first game. The shots he was creating, he's able to create his own shots. He twists, he turns. I think that started. Then the following year, then he gets to be first team All-State, and then last year, so he's improved every year. Last year he is captain first team All-State. Now this year, it's all eyes are on him. Yeah.
He's got all the pressure.
He's got a lot of pressure. Bless the little kid's heart. We're all heavy. But we're going to get on his back as best we can. We're going to ride that horse as far as we can go.
Well, I don't know. He's more of a stallion than a horse.
Yes,
It's a thoroughbred. When you take Bryson Eli, what a run! I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. They need to make a movie about that kid's career and what he's been through one day. Just talk about him coming back and what he's meant to this team.
Lord have mercy. You think about it. The kid had a torn ACL, MCL, whatever the letter is.
So his leg was shattered.
Yeah. And and this was in November. I'm out there watching the football game, and I saw him come off the field. And to come back from that type of injury, here he has to put on a brace. I think more it's mentally now than physically. He is a strong, tough-minded kid.
Yeah.
I think I said it last year. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with that kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But he is strong mentally. He's got a high basketball IQ. I really think when we got him to where he can play a little bit and inserted him into the lineup, that our defense really started solidifying. Because now he can guard bigger people in the post. Offensively, he is smart. He's not going to take bad shots. He'll make the extra pass. He'll set screens, do things like that for us. But he's known for the shot.
Yeah.
That's. He won't have to buy another beer the rest of his life.
No.
But I would love to see. I would love to see on all our seniors, Carson, Jace, Braden, just be able to go down in infamy to a certain extent.
It takes 3 to win a dynasty, and that's what you're one away from a dynasty.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I'd love for all of them to get that goal. I know they want it.
Yeah.
I know they want it. And, I think we're going to be a tough out, too. Now, I worry about Ritchie County, but I promise you they're just as worried about us, too.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee it. And I know you don't want to talk, you're not looking over Ritchie, but that St. Joe loss, myself, if I'm y'all, I'm considering that a blessing, because y'all was on such a tear. You don't want that to come in the postseason. Just talk about that game and how has it helped this team move forward.
Well, that might have reset us a little bit. We played because of the weather this year. It kicked about 11 games back almost half the season, the last 2 weeks of the season. So, we got, who was it? I can't remember. We had Belfry. Then right the next day, St. Joe, and they beat us in overtime. You get a day off. Here comes Tucker County on the road to Bluefield. Got Man, then the tournament.
Gauntlet.
I think, like I said, after St. Joe, we had a little talk with them. Say, hey, we've got to play a lot better basketball in this. And I think that is really, if I'm not mistaken, is that when I put Bryson in the lineup?
I think so.
Huh?
I'm not sure. I think it's a bit sooner.
But Lawrence County, that's a gauntlet. But when you see teams like that, like Bluefield, like Lawrence County, St. Joe, they were ready for us.
Oh yeah.
They were ready. They're in our crosshairs. But I think that reset us a little bit. Good loss, sometimes is the best thing in the world. Maybe bring us off our high horse.
Yeah.
We're not as good as we think we are. So, hopefully, we can look back at the end of this year and say, hey, that was the turning point.
Yeah, that game right there, going in, y'all have won it, I think, twice as a 2 seed, twice as a 1 seed. So either way, you're in good shape. But, being able to put, I always say going into a tournament, I would rather play the best teams early because you're healthy, than drag in that third day.
You got to go through them all. I don't care who it is. You know, if you know, back in a long time ago, before they seeded it, you know, when I was at Williamson, we drawed Wheeling Central 2 years in a row. You know, but now they seed it, and you do, you know. But as for this year, I think 1 through 8 are the Class A bracket is as strong as any.
Yeah.
So you know, if it's Ritchie County, if it's East Hardy, if it's Tucker, if it's the Lakers, if it's the Knicks, we don't care who it is. We're going to go play.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to give it our best shot. And that's really all we can do. And you know, I hope, you know, I just, you know, hope and pray that, you know, we're strong enough.
Before we wrap this up, Bradley Dalton's got a question.
All right.
Yeah.
Coach, I just want to talk to you. You know, recently, you know, we were recognized as all-time winningest coach in Mingo County history. And I just want to rattle off, I think, 3 coaches that I know have passed this year. John Maynard, George Ritchie, David Hatfield. Those are names that mean something, I know, to you and a lot of people in here. Just talk to me about that. You know, Rabbit Thompson, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, you can include Mike Smith in that from Birch. To be honest, you can include Kurt in that. You know, to be honest, you know, those guys, they've forgot more basketball than I know. They grew up when it was harder, a lot tougher. You know, back then, what did they take 4 teams to the state at one time? You know, George Ritchie is playing Bluefield. He's playing Huntington. He's playing Charleston. You know, David Hatfield and Kurt, they went on a roll there, something like 15 straight trips to the state tournament.
Yeah.
Back to back, 86 or 88, 89, 86. Mike Smith's won, 2 championships at Birch. John Maynard won a championship when he played, if I remember right, and then coached. Bless his heart. You know, I think he was one of the very first ones to win a state championship. So, you know, basketball in Mingo County is precious. It really is. You know, I know. You know, Beckley likes to think that they are the city of champions.
Yeah.
You know, but you know that's a big city. Beckley is.
Yeah.
You know, we're down here in lowly old Mingo County where we get very little, don't have very much, and we're able to, you know, we're just as successful as some of those teams are. But, you know, again, to answer your question, honey, great coaches, you know, I've been very blessed that I've got very great assistants. Moose was with me when I was at Mingo Central. Tyler has been with me. He's seen all of them. Kurt has been with me. Dr. Mounts has been with me. I get a lot of good advice from these guys, but really what it is those kids out there. You know, and I can name about 100 of them, but I'm afraid somebody'd get mad at me. You know, I remember Aaron Perry. I remember Chad Dameron. I remember Mikey and Aaron and Austin Brewer. I remember Austin Vance. The list just goes on. Mason Pack.
Yeah.
You know, those kids are so good that they make me look good.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been very fortunate. I thank you, Jesus, for all the success that I've had. And if the Lord willing, just one more time, I'd like to bring back just, you know, one more championship to Tug Valley.
There you go. Bring home one more. Kurt Fletcher has a question.
I want Coach to expound on Chatteroy basketball and Chatteroy's little holler down here.
Yeah.
There's 5 guys from Chatteroy Holler that have won state championships.
Yeah.
He's the Chatteroy legend.
Yeah.
He is one of the legends.
Chatteroy was a Class B back in, you know, when it was Class B, 1958. Rod Jackson, Dodie Sloan, you know, Lord, my mind is spiraling. Bob Fletcher. They was a state runner-up, okay? So you go on in now into the 60s with Kurt Fletcher, Tommy Fletcher, You keep going. You got Danny Moses. You go on in. George Ritchie was the coach. Yes, yeah, but according, the 5 coaches that have won it, George Ritchie was first, was 64, won a state AA championship. Kurt was on that team, 64. Frankie Smith won one at Tug Valley. Yeah. Frankie at Tug Valley, and I think 99. The one that you probably don't know about is a man that I went to school with, Jeff Jackson. Okay, graduated with me in 76. He won the Kentucky KHSA at University Heights in 1992. Yes, he's won several Class A state championships. That's 3. Number 4 was Kurt in 2001. And number 5, whoever the idiot is now at Tug Valley. But you'd be surprised that the basketball knowledge, success that has come out of Chattelway. I would be, if you would combine, Kurt's wins and Jeff's wins, Stan Elkins' wins, my wins, who else? George Ritchie's wins. You combine all those wins together.
Maybe the winningest county.
It might be the winningest county. Somebody needs to send that into the Guinness, whatever book of champions or records that is.
Yeah, there you go, Brad. That's a job for you.
Yeah. Big job. Yeah. Good luck.
So, you're the only coach to win the Sweet 16 and the West Virginia State Championship in West Virginia. Expand on that, right?
No, really, it's really not totally correct. Jeff won the big one in 92.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was there, we won 4 Class A state championships.
Okay.
And, we beat, I think, Paintsville when they had, who was it?
Van Hoos and Tackett.
Van Hoos, Tackett. Tackett went to Notre Dame, I think. Kentucky, yeah. We won, I think it was 95, 96, 98, 99, something like that. And then I come back to Williamson in 2001 and worked with Kurt. But, been very fortunate enough to be around a lot of good basketball.
So that's where it started. I forgot all about that. So, Rabbit, I will say this, man. I'm a basketball nut, and when it comes to coaches that you revere and you respect, you're on the Mount Rushmore when it comes all time in the Cofield.
I don't know. Right here's a pretty good coach right here.
There you go.
Right here's a pretty good coach. I know there's a lot of other good coaches out there.
They are, but listen, there's not a lot of resumes like yours either. So, but Coach, listen, you go get this done. I know we promised you we'd only keep you 4 minutes, but that's almost impossible.
I understand.
We're going to let you guys go. The players are here. We're going to let you go tell them bye.
Okay.
And we'll see you.
I want to say, honey, I'll be home here just a little bit. I know, she probably thinks I'm out running around somewhere.
She thinks you're next door, right?
Yeah. Tell my sister, I love her, and I'll see her up there. And I got 3 little nephews. Okay, I'd like to mention, if you don't care, Brooks Taylor, Reed Taylor, and Hayes. And I'd like to get one more picture with those 3 on Saturday, if it'd be possible.
Well, Rabbit, listen, we're going to catch up with you in Charleston. Hopefully we'll have a lot of great interviews, content coming to Tug Valley fans, and look forward to this run. I know this one here, trying to cap off, that 3rd one in a row. I know there's probably more pressure on you this year than they have been in a while. So, look forward to seeing you, and I have no doubt you'll get it done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbit. Guys, that'll wrap up the Tug Valley State Tournament tip-off show live from 3 Guys. We'll catch up with you in Charleston.